Good morning, everybody. We're gonna get do a little bit of notes before we get started, and then we are really going to kind of go over the first collaboration assignment. So hopefully you all brought your laptops as requested. But I also want to make you aware that Chapter 1 quiz is due tonight at 11:59. I don't know, it doesn't do midnight for some reason, so it's 11:59 p.m. You may take it twice. Okay, so it's pulling questions, 20 questions randomly from a bank of questions, right? Like 56 questions. You're not going to get the same test twice. So that'd be pretty damn easy. But you can take it twice. You can use your notes, all those good things. It's on anything in Chapter 1. Okay, anything in Chapter 1. It'll keep the highest score. If it doesn't keep the highest score, let me know, but it's supposed to keep the highest score. So what we're talking about in Chapter 2, let's just go back and review a little bit, is we're talking about collaboration information systems. And really, there has been tremendous growth in how we use information systems to work with one another over the last 10, 15, even 5 years, okay? Things have changed drastically. And what we're looking for is not cooperation, but a higher level of working together known as collaboration, where we have feedback and iteration, okay? And we said, hey, what can collaboration information systems be used for? And we said, first, at the bottom of the pyramid is to become informed, right? To distribute information, to produce information for us. Secondly, once we're informed, we can make better decisions, right? We can make decisions, and we talked about making decisions in an organization. We said there are operational, these are like day-to-day decisions. You know, do we inventory restocking, managerial decisions, and then strategic decisions, the big decisions, all right? Those were the three levels, and we said as we go higher up, we need more collaboration because they're less well-defined, so we need more collaboration. The third level, we said we can solve problems, and we can also manage projects, were the four things we can do. Now, just to go forward, and this is new information. One way we can define or categorize collaboration information systems is by asynchronous versus synchronous. What's the difference there? Those are two good tech words to know. Okay, what's the difference? Matt, do you know what synchronous versus asynchronous is?
It's synchronous and everything's in order and it goes together. Asynchronous means maybe like doing one thing's working and one thing's not.
Okay, that's close, right? Synchronous means at the same time, right? Like this class right now is synchronous, right? You're here and I'm here at the same time, right? We're exchanging ideas at the same time, right? This is synchronous. When you're talking to someone on the phone, that's a synchronous, face-to-face, that's synchronous, right? It's the same time. It's at the same time this communication, this collaboration is happening. So asynchronous would be not at the same time, right? So give me an example of information system or communication information system that can be asynchronous. Matt, go ahead.
Email?
Sure, right? That's a beautiful advantage of email. And later in this class, we're going to talk about advantages and disadvantages of email, right? But email is great. I can send an email 2 a.m. Okay, that time, 2 a.m. last night. You may get up at 8 o'clock in the morning and might say, hey, there's Dr. Miko's message. And I might be sleeping at that time, right? So that is asynchronous. Some online classes. Have you guys taken many online classes? There are online classes that are asynchronous. What does an online asynchronous class mean? What is that? How's that work? Most are asynchronous. What does that mean? Katie?
Probably saying like, here's the assignment, you do it by this date.
Yeah, I don't care if you do it at midnight. I don't care if you do it at 3 p.m. Here's my lecture. It's recorded. Watch it whenever the hell you want to watch it, yes? If it was synchronous, I would say at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, everyone needs to be online and hear what I have to say, right? That is synchronous communication. So there is many, many things. So synchronous versus asynchronous, and we can also have single location and multiple locations, all right? So for all these things, like asynchronous, single or multiple location, email, discussion forums, team surveys, multiple locations, conference calls, screen sharing, webinars, video conference, shared whiteboard. All these are examples of collaboration information set. We're going to go into some more examples of this. It doesn't even have up here like SMS, which is texting, but this is an example of the way we can collaborate with one another. So that's one thing I wanted to define, synchronous versus asynchronous. The other thing that I'd like to define before we get into our work today is something called content sharing, or versions or levels of content sharing. For us to collaborate, we need to share some kind of content. If we're collaborating on the cover for a magazine, well, we need to share that with one another. If we're collaborating on a final paper, it's a group project, we need to share that with one another. Now, the important thing with that is how to control that content so that we make sure that we have the proper version, the right version. Because remember, collaboration involves iteration and feedback. There might be 100 versions of that document until we get that content, until we get to the final version, right? So how do we control for that? Well, one way is no control. That's not a good way, right? No control is if I send out an attachment to you and I say, I want everyone to change this. Well, I'm not controlling versions. We're going to have, Ian's going to have a version, and Christina's going to have a version, and Andrew's going to have a version, and I'm not controlling for that. I don't know when the hell Andrew updated his. I don't know what it has. It never comes back together. Email with attachment is no version control. None, right? Same thing if I put a file on a shared server. A lot of times people say that. Like, I don't know if you have professors say, put this on they put things on the P drive. You guys know what the P drive is, a shared drive? Okay. That has no version control either, because you put it on a shared drive, right? Now, we can all access it, but if Ian opens it and Frank opens it at the same time, Ian makes some changes, saves it, and while he does that, Frank is making changes, Frank saves it. What has Frank has just done? He's overwritten Ian's changes, right? Now Ian's changes gone for the world never to see, okay? That is no version control. The higher level, okay, one version up, is what we're going to do today. Okay, we're going to look at something called Google Drive. Google Drive is version management. Okay, you'll see we can look at all the edits that happened to that document. Who edited it, what time it was. We can also go back and say, let's go back to that first version before anyone touched anything. Let's restore it to that version. That is called version management. And the last one is kind of version management with another degree up, okay? It has a check-in and check-out system, if you will. And it has like authorization and authentication. If we have a document like the Google Drive document and we say, we're going to check it out for ourselves for a month, work on it, and then we'll update it, that's more that's more version control. That is more serious level of making sure that we know who has this document out for editing at this point, right? We know who is controlling the version at this point, or what group is controlling the version at this point. Google Drive is using, what we're going to use in a second, is using version management. Now, I'm going to come back to these things, after we do this hands-on assignment today. But I wanted to kind of introduce them so when we talk about Google Drive and we look at Google Docs and spreadsheets, you guys can get a feel for what I'm talking about when I talk about sharing content and version control and version management. All right, any questions on it? Okay, fantastic. Then let's go to this assignment that I have out here on Blackboard, which is due next Monday at midnight. Okay, so I think that's the 15th of September. Now on Friday's class, if you guys recall, I created a user ID and a password for all of you on Google Docs. You guys recall, yes? You were able to log in? All right, so the first part of this assignment is I want you to do these three things, and I'm going to talk about how to do these three things. The first one is there are two documents that I have shared with you. One is chapter 1 and 2, an outline of the notes. I want you to collaborate on that, okay? And I'll show you that in a second. The second thing is I want you to create a new document, and I'll show you how to do that today. And then I want you to share it with me at johnmiko.com. Me, like M-E, at johnmiko.com. That's me. And then also one other classmate. I'll show you how to do that. And the other thing I want you to do is I'm going to show you a way you can use the tools like the survey tool, the forms tool to generate a survey. So let's do this. Let's go to docs. Whoops. Well, let's go to drive.google.com. Okay. And I'm going to sign out of this one. So when it says to sign in, you want to use not your Gmail. If you have a Gmail, you already have a Drive account. But I want you to use your name at johnmiko.com. So I'm going to sign in as me, at johnmiko.com. See if I can remember my password. What's wrong, Katie?
Nothing, I don't think.
Okay.
I'm not sure. What do we go?
Excuse me?
We just were here, right?
You're going to log in the... Yes. Okay.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
What's wrong, Franklin?
I don't have what you have on your screen.
What do you have on your screen?
Like, I'm at where you're at, but I don't have that stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because those are just my documents that I haven't shared with you,
Oh.
okay? So we should be here, okay? So now if I click on, this is Google Drive. This is a shared cloud storage area, right? I think every Google user gets 5 gigabytes free. I think it might be more than that, but that's a lot of storage space. And that can sync up to your personal drive. I pay $1.99 a month to Google with $2 a month, and I get 100 gigabytes free. So like all my personal pictures on my cell phone automatically get loaded to my Google Drive, any video I take, because I don't want to lose like precious moments, pictures of my kids and videos, those kind of things, okay? And I know Apple has the same deal, right? The iCloud. Anyone use iCloud? Yeah? Be careful with that. You guys realize what just happened there?
It got hacked, didn't it?
Well, I'll talk about that later, but I don't want to go tangential. But yeah, it got hacked basically, and I'll talk about we'll talk about that more when we talk about security. But all these celebrities' private photos have been leaked. You guys know that, or have been leaked? Did you guys see that? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, anyways, I want you to go with shared with me. Okay, now these are the two documents, and we'll go through this quickly. But you see this now, Franklin? Because I shared this with you, right? So you have this. So just a couple things. If we go to chapter 1 and 2 notes, I wanted to show you, okay, we have some things that were written here. Like Katie Ross is right now, Frank is updating it. We can see this is, right now as we update this document, would this be synchronous or asynchronous? We're all in there right now at the same time updating this damn thing. What is this? Synchronous. But we could also use this asynchronously, right? You could type something, I could log in tomorrow and say, hey, this is what Will added to this document. Now what's kind of nice, what's really nice, when we talk about version control, if I go over here to File, okay, and I go to See Revision History, I can see, and this is how I'm going to check to say, did you do anything, right? I want to see what you collaborated on. And if I go to See Revision History, it tells me September 5th at 9:45, Earl, he made the edits that are in red, and William made these, and Franklin made these. And I can see right now, what is today, September what? 8th? Okay. So I don't see any September 8th edits yet because it's probably not there. But anyway, September 7th, that was in last night. Christina, were you in here last night?
Yes.
Okay, great. At 8:22 p.m., okay? And Dominic was there on Saturday, right, Dominic? Okay. So we can see it. And if I wanted to, and I don't, but if I wanted to, I could go back and say, all right, let's look at this version, and I don't know what Dominic did, but I could restore to this revision, right? I could say, I don't like what Christina did I want to go back to this version, right? That is version management, right? Now I know I have all these different versions, and it doesn't just go away. I can go deep. I can go layers into this. Does that make sense? Okay. So one thing I want you to do is collaborate on this. Everyone has to add to this. Everyone has to add to this. Now, if I go back to shared with me, and I go to phone log, okay, this is using, that is, what I just created was a Google Doc, which is like a Word document. It's like a, it's a word processing document. This is a Google spreadsheet, okay? And all I did was create a phone log, and all I want you to put in there is your name and your phone number. You don't, if you're worried about your phone number getting out to some creepy guy or something like that, just put a fake phone number in there. I don't care about what it is. I just want you to put your phone number in there, okay? Or a phone number in there. I want you to collaborate on this. That's all. I just want to show you this purpose. You can say 555-1212, okay? So that's one thing I'd like you to do. Okay. So that is stuff. Go ahead, Plummet. What's that? Did you click on share with me? Come here. Let me see that. Did I not share this with you, Megan? That's a good idea. Especially when you got creeps like that behind you, right? That's scary. Scary stuff. Does anyone else have trouble accessing these slides? No, Dominic? What is it doing for you? I don't know. Yeah, you see your own. You gotta sign out. Sign in. So Dominic, he was in his own private Gmail. That's why I share it with his John Miko account. Yes, sure. Okay, you were in your Jerry Kiefer account too. You gotta be in your John Miko account. Maybe that's your deal too. Huh? No, you're in John Miko. Press on in again as in your John Miko account. Okay. So we had a couple issues. Here's the other thing I want you to want to show you how to do, okay? The second part of the assignment is I want you to collaborate on documents that I created, right? But what else I'd like you to do is you don't want to just be collaborators, you want to be creators. So we can create our own documents. So two ways we can do that. One way is if you go back to Google Drive. You guys see this? You guys on this page? Okay, one way we can do this is we can upload. So let's say I'm going to upload, and I'm going to pick a file. Let's just see, I don't know what's on this computer. But let's pick, I don't know, let's say, okay, so I'm going to go to personal. This is my, I guess that's my personal stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna upload a picture. This is a picture of me. Okay, and then I can share it with whoever I want to share it with. Okay, so there's a link to share. I can send that link in email. I can send that link. I can put it on my Twitter page. I can put it on my Facebook. Whatever I want to do, or I could invite people to see this. Right. If I wanted to invite people to see this, let me think of an easy name. Frank, that's not an easy name. Let's see. Oh, it's Christina, that's not bad. So Christina Feeney at johnmiko.com. I'm going to invite her to look at it. So I say send. Okay. Okay, she would get an email, and now she would be able to, if you notice I said she can edit it, she can edit that if she likes. Okay? So we could upload Word documents that you already have, PowerPoint presentations that you already have, your schedule, your basketball schedule, your football schedule, whatever it might be. Uh-oh. All right, so I have a little internal error. I don't know what that means. But we can do all those kind of things. So you can upload a document. Okay, now it looks like it worked. First I had an issue with it. But the other thing I can do is I can create from scratch. So if you click on Create, these are all, like you think about Microsoft Office, we have Word, PowerPoint, Excel. These are Google Documents are like Word, okay? Google Presentation is like PowerPoint. Google Spreadsheet is like Excel. So let's go into Google Document. And the first thing you want to do is you want to name it, give it some kind of name like My Test Document. So I just clicked on Unnamed Document, and now it's My Test Document. And I can do almost anything, about anything I can do with Microsoft Word. I mean, it's basically a word processor. I can type in here. I can change fonts. I can change color if I want. I can do all those kind of things. What I can also do, which is kind of nice, I can make comments. But now what I can do is if I want to, okay, I can take this and I can share it. So I started this Word document. Now I can share it with, let's see, if I want to share it with William, I can share it with William. And I invite him to collaborate on that. I'm saying, hey, I started this document. You want to collaborate on it? That'd be great. Give me some input in here. And he can do that. So now we've added to some collaboration. What's also nice is I want you to go under add-ons. You guys in a Google Doc right now? Go under add-ons and go down to get add-ons. Get add-ons. Add-ons or add-ins in applications are typically like advanced functionality that's not turned on or that you can download. Think of them like as apps for Google Docs. So these are add-ons that are out there. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try EasyBib. Okay, EasyBib. Let's try EasyBib. I'm going to click on EasyBib, and it's free. I like free. And this is a little demo on how it works. I've never used it before, but I need to give it authority to do some things. I do that. And let's say now under my add-ons is Easy Bibliography Creator. I'm going to go to Manage Bibliography. And it says Cite a Source. Looks like I need to give it a title. I'll just pick let's say Smith. I know there's a book by Smith, right? So if I want to cite this book, I can select it. And if I want APA, I can add the bibliography. So, you guys are always struggling with how do I do citations, right? Why? Why do we have to know things like I need italics or I need spaces when we have tools in this day and age to do that for us? That's BS stuff, right? So if you go out here, you want to cite, I don't know, Michael Hammer or I don't know, Elon Musk or something like that. Go out and, you can, if you have that book handy, search that book, put out the ISBN, it'll bring it up for you. You can say cite in APA or cite in MLA or cite in Chicago style. School of Business typically we use APA, right? Do you guys know what I'm saying? So that's an add-on we can use. There's other add-ons here. One called Gliffy, which I installed this morning just to test it out. Gliffy is it's a pretty nice package that allows you to do diagramming very nicely. Like if you're building an organizational chart, or heck, I don't know, if you're mapping out football plays or basketball plays, or maybe something like I already have it installed,
but something like a flow chart. So if I go to add-ons and I install Gliffy, so I'm going to go open sidebar. Okay, and let's say create a diagram. And I could, collaborate on this or I mean create this. Let's say I want a flow chart. Okay, and I have a very nice tool now here to create a flow chart. Here's a connector tool. Okay, and I can type in here like if we were doing ATM pin correct. And then down here I'd type yes, if it was correct, this is what we do. And down here I'd click no, this is what we do. So, I want to, that's a nice, you don't have to do anything with this, but I want to show you, explore those add-ons. There's some nice tools there. There's a ton of templates as well. Say you have to create a professional letter or a resume or an invoice or whatever the heck it is. Why reinvent the wheel? In this day and age, we can collaborate with unknown people and use borrowed templates, those kind of things. Okay, any questions on that? You still have prompts on? Okay, I'll look at yours after class. Any questions on that? The other thing I want to show you, if we go back to my drive, let's create, instead of a document, let's create a spreadsheet. Okay, and this is like Excel. Okay, but the other thing that Google has, kind of an advantage over Excel, you can kind of do this in Excel, is Google is first and foremost what kind of company? They're a search company, right? So if I go out and let's say I'm going to put in column 1, I'm going to write here stock, and I'm going to put some stocks I own. Okay. So let's say I have my own little personal portfolio and I want to check it out every day. Now, there's a lot of tools to do that, but I can also use a Google spreadsheet. There's a function in Google called equal Google Finance, and I can say, let's say A2. I want you to take whatever's in A2, comma, and then what attribute do I want to look up? There's attributes like volume, high, low. I'm going to just look at the current price. So I do A2, comma, price, and it goes out to the web and says, what's the current price? And if I open this up a couple hours from now, I'm just going to copy, drag that down. Maybe Google stuff, I guess ZK is no longer simple. Maybe it's no longer trading at 124.48, maybe it's at 120 or 170. And I could put in my shares, and I could multiply my shares by the share price and have how much money I have at any given point, right? So it's going out to the web automatically. Has anyone ever used Google Translate?
Yes.
Okay. Well, they have a function in here for Google Translate. So if I typed in hello, okay, and I use Google Translate, and I reference A10, and then it wants the source language, so that's in English. So EN is the short code for English. And let's say, what language do I want to translate that to? Italian? What, you think that's IT? I think it's probably IT. Ciao. So if I put in ES, that's Spanish. Whatever I want to put in. Basically, those little short codes, you can Google, short codes for language. You can get those. You can do, Arabic or whatever it might be. Okay, so it's really cool. You can do those kind of things. So let's go back. All right, this is also something I want to show you, and this is something you have to do. Go to Create, and this is a really nice tool, I think. Go to create a form. This isn't something that is typically available in Microsoft Office, but go to create a form. If you guys are involved in many things like marketing research class, or you know, you have a sorority and you want to survey the people in your group for whatever reason, you can create what's called a form, and it's a web form. So let's say MIS 102 survey. And you could pick a theme. I don't know, let's go with farm life. Who the hell would want that? I like that. That's nice. Sailing. So I'm going to pick sailing. I'm going to click OK. And what I could do is I could create questions here. So I could say, how great is this class? Okay, and I could say, well, is it multiple choice? Yeah, let's say it's multiple choice. And option 1 is awesome. Option 2 is great. Option 3 is fantastic. Okay, and I could say done, or let's say, yeah, done. I want to add another item. This one I'm going to make open source, so I'm going to say, what is your favorite part of this class? And I'm just going to leave this text, okay? So, or let's say paragraph text, because you need a lot of room for that, right? So now I click done, okay? And I'm going to say publish and show a public link to form. No, I don't want that. Show link to allow responders that are respond. No, let's do this. So I'm going to say send form. Okay. So what this has done is it's created a form for me. I'm just going to copy that. And I'm going to say done, or I could send it via email if I like. And what it's going to do is, this is the nice thing about this, is after I send this form and people respond to it, guess where the results go? To you. To me, but where do you think they live? Go ahead. Yeah, they go into a Google spreadsheet. So now, you know, instead of getting the results and have to retype them in Excel or whatever, as people respond to this, boom, it's automatically in Google Docs and spreadsheets, and you can analyze it from there, import it into Excel, or whatever you might want to do, okay? So it's a nice little tool. So I'm going to say create, okay, that is done. Now, for your assignment, let's go back, and hopefully I've given you enough information you can do this assignment. If not, you can always see me. But for Google Docs and spreadsheets, I want you to do 3 things. The first 2 you guys are well on your way to. I want you to collaborate on chapter 1 and 2 notes. Okay? I want you to also collaborate on the phone log. Done. The second thing, I want you to create a new document. It could be a picture, it could be a schedule, it could be, you know, a Word document, a spreadsheet. And I want you to share it with me at johnmiko.com, and one other classmate. You can figure that out, right? You know the first name and last name at johnmiko.com. So I want you to share that with me and someone else. Does that make sense? Yes,
So
Christine.
what I did is I shared a document that was, it had a link in it also, but it was an article.
Sure.
Okay.
That's fine. Anything. And then the other thing is you need to generate, using that Google Forms, you need to generate a small survey on anything you like and send it to your friends and me. You know, me at johnmiko.com. Okay, so it could be a 2-question survey. But I want you to use Google Forms to create a little survey, right? And send it to me at johnmiko.com and one of your friends. So questions on that part of the assignment? You guys do that? Good. All right, the second part. And this really, when I first started this assignment, this wasn't mainstream, but now it's become mainstream. So now it's just a way for me to get Twitter followers. Twitter is a way, okay, you know what Twitter is? It's a short blogging system. So I'm at johnsmiko.com, and what I want you to do, okay, I think I have it here. I think I have like 300 followers. Katy Perry has 56 million. A lot of followers, right? Like she's number 1. If you look at twitaholic.com, it tells you who has the most followers, right? So anyways, here's what I'd like you to do. I want you to find an interesting article, and it could be the article that you did for your in-class presentation, and I want you to tweet it out with the hashtag SFUMIS, okay? So I want you to tweet that out with SFUMIS. I also want you to, you can make a fake account, I want you to follow me, okay? And I also want you to submit your Twitter ID as part of this assignment. That's the second. The third thing is, oh, I forgot that? I forgot to put that link there. I want to show you another tool that you may have not heard of. It's something called VoiceThread. Okay, it's something called VoiceThread. If I click on this link called VoiceThread, all right, I've shared, that link is a link to Schwab Hall diagrams. You guys know what we're doing with Schwab Hall for the School of Business? No? Yeah, we have we need $6 million raised, and we have about over $5 million raised. Schwab Hall is going to be gutted, okay, renovated, and become the School of Business. Okay, do you guys realize that? So hopefully, if you're a freshman, it may be done by your junior or senior year, but if you're like a junior or senior, you won't see it. Okay, so unfortunate. But I'll see it. So I'll have a nice office. But anyways, this is, and I don't have the sound on because I have my microphone plugged in, but these are the plans for Schwab Hall. Okay? So this is like the ground floor. I think this is the ground floor. Yeah, this is the ground floor. And anyways, what I want you to do is VoiceThread allows you to take a photo, okay? And you can add comments to it. Oh, I got to sign in. Let me sign in here. So you're going to have to create an account. And you can comment on something like this one of three ways. You can type, so you see the little, when I hit that add, it said type. So I can type a comment. So I can say like, well, let's say I want to say like this is the back classroom. Okay, so I'm circling it. And then I can say these will be a new addition to Schwab. Okay, and I click save. So now this is shared, like we can see what John Miko said about this portion of Schwab. The other thing I can do, and you're not going to be able to see this, but you can also record, and it will record like a video of you talking about this, right? You can say like, hey, I think this is going to be great, or whatever it might be, okay? Or you can, it's probably recording me, it might be recording me right now, or you can, like there's a phone number thing, you can dial in and record your voice if you have like a bad computer that doesn't even have a microphone on. You can hit that and dial into a number and make a comment about it. But you're going to have to sign up for a free VoiceThread account to collaborate on this, to comment on this. But I want your actual input on this because we're going to be meeting with the architects soon. These are old ones, okay, these are old ones. But we're going to be meeting with an architect soon to go through the design and update design. And I want you guys to, I want to show them this and say this is what students want in this, or what they think about these current diagrams. It won't just be what me and Dr. Fry think. But anyways, this is, generally speaking, on the back of Schwab, where you come in from the back, from Loretto, that main entrance there, I'm talking about, by the football field. We're going to add on a section. It's going to be like a square, and it's going to go 3 stories high, and those are going to be new classrooms. So they're going to be like glass around it. They'll be real nice. You'll be able to overlook, when you're up above, you'll be able to see the football field. Jeremy?
I don't know if this is true, but somebody said like the top level is going to be like a
Party deck.
not like a party deck, but for, how in the gym they have like the Stokes Lyman room for like the alumni that like.
Yeah, that was
money.
actually that was, I don't know if it's, I can't say it's really part of the plan. It was like an idea that was floated, it kind of shot down quickly, but I think it might come up again. Is this thing on the back only goes up to I think it goes up 3 floors, but counting the ground floor, I think it could go up another level. And we said, well, how about we make it like a deck, right? Like a a nice party deck, And the president could like entertain there, right? Like could entertain alumni, especially for football games, because you could overlook the football field and just be a good hot tub. Hot tub, yeah, what the hell, why not, Dr. Fry in a hot tub, that'd bring the alumni in. So Anyway, so that's part of the thoughts, anyways. So this is the first floor. You know, this is still a classroom. This is, you know, this over here becomes a classroom. One of the neat features is, I don't know if you see it says open to below. So what they're going to do, you know how like DeCepio is open a couple floors, and even the science building, you know how it has that open architecture? That's really more common. So they're going to blow a hole through the first floor of Schwab, and it's going to be open to the second floor. You know what I mean? There's going to be a cafe. Like they're going to get rid of, what is it called, Gubbio. I think Gubbio is going to shut down, and that's going to move to the basement of Schwab, basically.
So far.
Huh?
It's gonna be so far.
You're going to have all your classes in Schwab. So you're going to be like, it's going to be ideal for you. It's going to be great. The science people are going to have to come to us.
We won't need it.
Huh?
There's shit for freshmen to see it.
Well, I don't know. If we get the money like soon, probably it'll break ground this summer, and it's going to take a year. So
We're supposed to get
I'll
out.
just fail a couple years, Frank. There's such thing as a 7-year bachelor's. This is, I guess this is the second floor plan. You know, have a conference room. One thing that we don't have designed in here right now, and this, Jeremy, this is what you're talking about. This is like, this would be roof, but it could be a party deck. One thing we don't have designed in here that we probably should is, if you look at the science center, these designs were done before the science was. You ever been over there that have those student zones? You guys know what I'm talking about? Like the
Yeah,
little.
those little
Do
rooms.
you guys like those?
Yeah.
Would you like one for
Or
us?
like a nap pod and stuff.
What do you call
Napping
it? A napping pod. Put that in there.
pod.
No,
If you
that'd
have
be-
like, it's like a little room and you have these little pods. Google has them.
That'd be filthy. No napping pods, I don't think. But anyway, you can put that comment in there, but I don't think that's going to go anywhere. But anyways, I'd like you guys to sign up for a VoiceThread account and collaborate on this. Like, add some comments. You can do it with video, you can do it with text, but I want everyone to collaborate on this. So these are just a kind of a smattering of collaboration tools. It's just unheard of how we can collaborate. We're going to talk about things like conference calls, web conference calls. You guys ever hear of Uber conference call? You guys heard of Uber, right? There's also something called Uber conference call. It's a free conference call tool. Like right now, you can say, I want to say you have a meeting with all the soccer team, Dominic, and they're all over the place, and you want to have a meeting. They'll give you a free conference call line. You can all dial into that number. You can share documents, and it's free of charge, right? It's nice. So unprecedented amount of collaboration tools that exist this day and age. It can never be an excuse today to say, well, I'm not there, I can't contribute, right? Or, I'm out of the country. So what, right? With all the tools we have today, it's not even, it's going to get to the point where it happens a lot now in the world of business, but it's going to happen even more. Who cares where you're at, or who cares if you go into work in a day, because you can work from anywhere, right? You can really work and collaborate and communicate from anywhere. Any questions on this assignment? I know I used almost the whole class time to explain it, but I think it's that important. Okay, it's like worth 10 points. Due next Monday at midnight. So if you have any questions, I got to fix plumbing still, but if you have any questions, bring them to class Wednesday or bring them to class Friday. On Wednesday, we will continue talking about collaboration, and we will add some more to what we're talking about. Have a great day.